What lie almost ruined your life forever? 3 years ago, I was driving home from work when I pulled over to read a text from my wife. She told me that she was pregnant, which made me so happy. I was daydreaming about when the little baby would pop out, and we would be a big and happy family. I couldn't wait to be a father. Just as I looked up, another car smashed into me out of nowhere. My car was totaled. I drifted in and out of consciousness, barely processing as I watched a young woman stumble out of her car, look at me, then run away from the scene. The next thing I remember, a cop was dragging me out of the wreck. Instead of helping me, he started yelling, firing off questions like it was an interrogation. I barely registered his words, dazed and hurting. At the hospital, as doctors worked on my broken neck, he showed up again, relentless with his questioning. Weeks later, I found myself in court. The officer claimed that I'd pulled out in front of her, making the accident my fault. I had no memory of what happened and felt guilt seeping in, like maybe it was my fault. But luckily, my brother-in-law, who's a lawyer, was sitting in. Something about the officer's story didn't sit right with him. He insisted on taking over my case. Within a week, he discovered the truth. The girl who hit me had been driving without a license, in a car that wasn't even hers, and the officer was just her uncle. They came up with a story to protect her. They wanted me to take the blame, hoping I'd just go along with it. Turns out she'd been texting when she hit me, and when her uncle found out, they decided to cover it up. If it weren't for my brother-in-law, I'd be stuck with that lie, responsible for